I very much appreciated that and enjoyed it. As a mother of 5, my kids are between, my youngest is 5, my oldest is 16. You'll notice I snarf down any meal that I don't have to cook and thoroughly enjoy it. So thank you so much. And also as a mom, I say, look, as we go through our little points today in my agenda, if you don't understand something or you want to talk about, just go ahead and throw out a question at me. It'll make me feel more like I'm at home, right? And if you got to stretch and get a water or whatever, you just go ahead and do it. Because I'm going to probably take us till, what, about 1? Or I'm probably going to take us till 1. Okay. You know, you can tell from this, so I'd love to have you here all afternoon, wouldn't I? Oh, yeah, because I love talking about Social Security, you guys. But I'm going to roll along, I promise. I know you've got lives to get to this afternoon. So I tried to think about some points that I thought you guys would enjoy no matter where you're at. Some of you are on benefits, some of you are still planning for benefits, no matter where you're at, good stuff for you, okay, for your families. All right, so let's start. First things first, okay? I'm going to follow along with my agenda. This is my Theresa brain today. All right, contacting us at Social Security. So local offices are open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesdays we're only open until noon. So 9 to 4 normally, 9 to noon, middle of the week, right? Hump day, Wednesday, early closing. Now, we're there. We're not eating bonbons, I promise you. All right, a lot of folks get callbacks from us on Wednesdays, and also we do pull-ins of internet claims and that type of stuff. You know how it goes. We just haven't really hired anybody in like years. So these office hours are where when we do our operational processing sometimes. We're there 7 to 6. I'm just saying this is when you can get to us. Now, you can call me. Look on the back. I love my Civitans and my Optimists. I live crazy with you. Look, I gave you my contact info. You see it on the bottom of the back? All right, that's my email. That's my phone number. Go ahead. I do not mind you contacting me, all right? And you can ignore the office hours. I mean, you can call me at 7 a.m. or whenever. If I'm not there, it's going to ring into my voicemail, okay? And you leave me a message, or you can shoot me an email. I need normally at least 3 days to get back with you. All right, and then I'm saying just because I'm out and about. And the good news is our email and our voicemail, they're encrypted, so I can't just pull it off of an unsecured location like, ooh, I have Wi-Fi. Let me just look up your stuff. I can't do that, or I have to be usually in the office in order to do that. So that's why I said it can take me a few days. But if like a week goes by and you don't hear from me, you bug me again. You're like, hey, I'm a Civitan, you know, I'm an optimist. You said you love me, girl. Where are you? All right, so don't, because I have been known to draft an email, and with all the things going on, I forget to send it, and it's hanging there in my box or something. So and I'm like, oh, yes, I'm sorry. So if you haven't heard from me, just bug me again, all right? The other thing I want you to know is that I'm not in the operations mix because I work for all the offices. So I'm like Xenia and Pickwa, Springfield, and Dayton, and West Dayton, and I work with our Franklin Middletown too, you know. So I'm with all those offices. So I won't be the one that can actually do the claim for you. Right? If you say, but Theresa, I want you to do my claim, and I'm like, I know, but I can't, because I'm our media liaison also. But I can look, right? Even if I can't touch, I can look at it. Because I had somebody that asked me to look at something the other day. She said, would you look at this for my husband, Theresa? You know, they both called me and said, we've gotten 4 different answers from 4 different people. Would you mind telling us? And I looked at it and I was like, you know what? It looks good, but you need to do da. All right, to make sure we finish this, we'll close out this whole thing. So I'm here for you. All right, I'm here for you as a resource person. So with the local offices, you can always walk in, but it's better to have an appointment. You know, if you want to file, if you want to do a face-to-face thing, you call the 800 number, and I've got that there too. The 800 number is open 24/7, but I'm old school. I like a human. I'm sorry, I just do. You can leave little robot voice messages with us, but between 7 and 7, there's a human being you can talk to. Okay, question for you guys. I live here in Montgomery County, but it's easier for me to drive down to Franklin Middletown or over to Xenia, you know what I'm saying, from where I'm at. Can I make an appointment to go into one of those offices? Yeah, thank you. Yes, I can. Now, if I don't say anything, I might be talking to somebody from Albuquerque, right? So if I don't say anything, they're going to say, Dayton, Ohio, you're going to Dayton, Ohio, into the federal building. But if you prefer another office, you can make an appointment there. You just need to let us know, right? And you can make an in-person appointment or on a phone appointment, okay? But of course, a lot of things are going on in the online world, aren't they? Some of you heard me giggling before. I have some publications over there. Some of I only laid out like the favorite ones. There's some stuff on retirement. If you're on benefits, there's a calendar of when benefits come in for 2015, 16, some of that stuff. But you'll notice, look, I don't know if you can see over there, but I Xeroxed all my own stuff because we're not even mass printing some things anymore. You know what? Just because everybody goes online now, right, to get things. So the biggest thing that's online that a lot of folks ask me about is the My Social Security account. Okay, remember when we used to send the estimates through the mail? You remember those guys? I'm sorry, I like cried when we stopped mailing those. That was in 2011. My heart was broken. Like I said, I'm old school. I love those things. All right, and those would come, remember, about 3 months before your birthday. You can kind of visualize them, right? They'd have your W-2s
Right.
and your estimates. Well, then we stopped mailing them for budget. Now, we're starting to remail them, but people will get them on a 5-year cycle. All right, so if you're not on benefits, you'll get one every 5 years. But a lot of folks don't want to wait 5 years, right? And so to get this, you go online now. All right, and you can have it right at your fingertips. Have any of you done it as an estimate yet? No? All right, so those of you that aren't on benefits yet, Teresa's got homework. The school mom's giving you homework during the summer. Go home and do this, all right? Because I've done it with a lot of folks. I've set up these accounts. It's not tough. Trust me, you can do it. All right, and it's just like the one you used to get in the mail. You see your W-2s, you see the estimates. When you go online, when you go on benefits, I should say, this changes over into your benefit monitoring world. All right, so you have your online account. You can see when your benefit comes. Do any of you have one set up that are on benefits? Is it working, Donna?
I don't look at it since I.
Well, now you're going to go home and look. So what? I looked at Mom's the other day, okay, because I set one up for my mom. So it shows when her direct deposits coming in, right? How much it's going to be. It shows Medicare being taken out of there, like her gross, her net minus Medicare. It also gives an option on there if she wanted a replacement Medicare card, if she needed a benefit verification, it prints it out for you right there, right on the computer. And I'll tell you, I use this thing for Mom because some of you know, Barb knows all my issues. Mom had to move from her house of 20 plus years because we lost my dad last year. So it's been a hard year, and she moved to One Lincoln Park, into a senior apartment there. Well, I can't change her stuff, okay? Because I told you, I'm not in my operations mix, and I can't mess with any of my family stuff or, any of that online. So I went online myself, and I used her online account, and I changed her address, because you change it with Social Security, you change it with Medicare also, right? You're making an address change for both of those. And right now, she's okay, but she has 3 different bank accounts. Okay, this is just the way we're operating, and I'm thinking I'm going to consolidate. So if I end up changing direct deposit, I can go online and do it too. I can put in her bank routing number and change it online. It took me about 10 minutes to do the address change. Right? I'm telling you because it's a great tool. Mom's on oxygen. She does not get out well. I don't want her having to wait on the phone for 45 minutes. I don't want her going into a local office and having to wait too. So I'm just telling you guys, when you're on benefits or if you got a loved one on benefits, this is a great tool. It's awesome. And again, if we need a proof of Mom's income, we can print it right out, boom, right there without her having to go into an office. And replacement 1099s, because I work with a lot of CPAs that were like, that's the best thing you've ever done. All right, we can go in there and print it right off. Mom goes online, but she's like, oh, honey, I do Instagram, Facebook, and Bridge. I'm not doing this. And I was like, that's what I'm here for. All right, to help her through. So some of you know what I'm saying. You may not be comfortable. My mother-in-law is 88. She's yelling at me all the time because I never post things on Instagram. And she's like, would you put some pictures of your grandkids on there for me? So I'm like, I'm trying. But she wouldn't have done this again without me. All right, so your kids, your grandkids, they can help you because I'm telling you, they can set this thing up for you in 2 seconds. All right, and it's just a great tool. All right. Well, let's move on from that, all right? And let's look about taking benefits, all right? That's my next point. When do you take retirement? You guys know that it's still 60. Think about the number line. The earliest you can file is still 62. That's right, 62. And the middle of our number line is what I'm going to call full age. That used to be 65, and now it's 66, okay? And over here is 70, all right? So think like this number line. And people take retirement all over this number line, right? Mm-hmm. And, I mean, you guys get it. The longer you wait, the higher the benefit, right? So if 66 was your full age, and if you were born after 1960, it's actually 67, but we're going to pretend it's 66. All right, 66 was my full age. Then for every month I take it early, I have a little reduction, right? And if you added up all the reductions, if you took it at 62, you get 75%, right? You wait till 63, you get like 80%. You wait till you're full age, you get 100%, right? And if you swing out here till 70, you're getting a booster, right? That's called a delayed retirement credit, where you're boosting your benefit up, right? And so you can get a 32% increase if you wait until 70. Now, some of you heard, we were just talking amongst ourselves here, weren't we? And about, well, what's really the best thing to do? And I laughed at, you know the Jim Audie WHIO reports. Did any of you ever see that? It's still on Channel 7, like on Sunday mornings. And I was Jim's guest like 2 years ago, all right? And we're trying to do another one in October because it's our 80th Social Security anniversary. So we're doing like a little anniversary show. But I remember I was under all those studio lights, you know, and Jim was like, what is the best time for a person to optimize their Social Security benefit? And I was like, well, Jim, it's an individual decision based on an individual person's factors like personal finance, health, and longevity. I thought I sound like an idiot. But you know what? It's true, isn't it? Even though I might sound trite about that, there is no right or wrong. People go all over the number line, right? But what I want you to be passing along to your family and loved ones are educate yourself, right? Get your estimate online. Use some of these tools we have online. We have little calculators and things like that for people to play around with their ages and such. Because it's not like it was. It used to be people would go 62 or full age. We got people at 70, at 69, at 64. I mean, all over in that number line. And if they got questions and they're not sure based on this online stuff, then I tell folks, come in. Make an appointment and talk to us. All right? And we'll crunch the numbers. And by the way, if you go online and you're putting in information and you're on some website that says, for only $150, we'll get you all kinds of Social Security information. For only $200, we'll expedite your Social Security. Problem, isn't it?
That's scammers.
Scary scammers out there. Scary scammers. What sometimes happens is, you know how you go to like these search things like Google, right? Or Yahoo, or you know, one of these search things. And sometimes people will put in file for Social Security. Well, usually you get our socialsecurity.gov, but you can get what I call the imposters. socialsecurity.com, socialsecurityretirement.com. And these might look pretty, but they're not official. Ours says official website of Social Security and it has the gov on the end. And are we charging anybody to file online? Are we charging people to file for disability? Do we charge you to get a Social Security replacement card? No. No, 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 no. So I always tell folks, get out of that. If they're saying they want money, it's not us. Okay, on that. Okay. Let's talk for a minute about work, because that's another question I've just had a lot of people ask me about, because more and more folks are working into their 60s and beyond, right? So I'm looking kind of in the middle. Can you work and get Social Security? All right, think of our number line, okay? If you're under full age, remember full age is in the middle, right? If you're 62, 63, 64, 65, you got work restrictions. And that means for us, Social Security, we are a retirement program, right? So if you are not retired, if you are working full-time, normally you can't take your benefits, or you may not be able to get all of your benefits. And that changes a little bit each year, right? For this year, if you're earning under, let's say 62, right? If you're earning under 15,720, remember that? Yes. You get all your benefits, because we're like, you're so part-time, here you go, you're retired. Now, you notice I didn't say anything about any other kind of income, right? I don't care that you got a lakefront house in Norris Lake, Tennessee. I don't care that your wife just inherited $2 million. I don't care that you won the lottery. I don't care that you're making great capital gains on your investments. Did I mention any of that income? That doesn't matter to me at Social Security. The one question I'm going to ask you about if you're coming up on retirement is, are you working? All right, that's all I'm caring about is, are you working? And then once you get to full age, okay, you're full age, the month you turn like 66, then all bets are off. You can make as much as you want and get a benefit, right? Make as much as you want. So I had somebody say to me the other day, are you serious? You mean I could make like $300,000 when I'm 66 and get Social Security? Yes, you guys, yes, that's right. But the person said, then their next question to me is, but could I hold off then? Well, sure, you don't have to take it at 66, right? Because what happens when you hold off?
It increases.
That's right, you're boosting it. You're boosting it. That's correct. So you got choices, correct? You got choices. There's not one right, there's not one wrong. It's a choice. Now, once you get to 70, my friends, it's like it or lump it, right? At that point, we want you to take it, because there's no more incentives not to take it, right? But look in the middle, right, as I'm talking. Okay, under the can I work section, look at my bullet 3. Do you see where it says any work you do? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it says any work you do is always automatically considered. All right, and when we look at your annual Social Security benefit, all right, so what do I mean by that? So I go ahead and I get a good job offer, and I'm 66, I'm 67, I keep working, okay, right? I'm working. Even if I'm taking my Social Security, if I'm still working, and some of you can back me up with this, do I still have to pay the Social Security payroll tax?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, right? I'm still going to pay FICA. I'm still having to pay it, aren't I, when I'm working? We got 80-year-olds working in Dayton. We have 90-year-olds, and guess what? They still pay FICA if they're working, right? The Social Security payroll tax. But their W-2 then, it comes into us at Social Security every year. Every year it comes in. And your Social Security benefit is actually based on your highest 35 years of work. Now, you don't have to have 35 years. You only have to have 10, okay, to get something from us. But believe it or not, most of us have more than 35 years. You all believe it now, don't you? Most of us have more. So we're taking your highest 35, right, and we're averaging them together. So when that work comes in, maybe when I was 16, that was one of my years, I only made $5,000, right? But I just made, $15,000 this year. It may boost up my benefit, all right? And maybe I only had 30 years of work because I've taken some time off for kids and that type of stuff, right? If it's based on 35, I might have 5 years of zeros in. So $10,000 is better than zero. So this often happens like in fall, but I had somebody tell me they got a letter the other day. Okay, so we're in August. Usually it's more like September. And he was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about. He worked over at Beaver Creek, actually for St. Luke's, like for St. Luke's Parish Center. He does like maintenance work. And he said, I got a letter and it said, we are adjusting your Social Security and increasing it by $5 a month. And I wondered, I was like, it's not cost of living yet, right? It's August. And I said, right, because you know what it's based on? He was like, my work. And I was like, right. Your W-2 from 2014 floated into us, and it's finally been processed through, okay? You don't ask for employment. I'm just saying we do it all the time. Now, it could be, though, and I saw a gentleman who was 84 the other day, and he's like, I dropped down to part-time hours, so it's really not doing anything. Like my highest 35, he was a high earner. So his $5,000 is not going to boost that Social Security up. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to boost it up. But it made him happy that at least we were looking at it. Every year. I said, it may not boost you up, but it's never going to take you down. All right, we're always going to look at that. One other thing I just wanted to mention. You notice I'm not floating out a bunch of work limits to you right now, right, for folks that are under their full age, okay? If anybody if they're not sure, if they've got a question about can I work, can I draw benefits, I always say, call, make an appointment when you're 62. We'll look over it for you. And I wanted to mention that if a person has minor kids, and I'm looking at my first bullet point there, minor kids or an adult child of any age, maybe with a disability, I would rather that person talk to us at 62, no matter what their earnings are, right? Because what? Because it might not just be about you, but your child may be able to draw a benefit off of your retirement. It's almost like a death benefit. You think of children as drawing on a death benefit from parents. But a child could also draw on a parent's retirement all the way up until the child graduates from high school. And if there's a child with a disability, that child may be able to draw at any age. I'm going to give you 2 quick examples of this, okay? Because I see it more and more, because a lot of us have had kids later in life, okay? So my good buddy George, his daughter Maddie was 13, and George was like at 62, he was like, honey, I am not taking any Social Security. This kid is like, she is my tail ender, and she's eating me on the house and home. She has a Cadillac taste. I'm going to work forever. We were laughing. And he's like, I do not want to take retirement. 62, plus I'm making the best earnings of my life. I was like, okay. But here, when you're down the road, for sure at your full age, remember the number line? Okay, when George turned 66, okay, I was like, you need to talk to us. Because when you reach full age, something magical happens, I say. Not only do the earnings limits go away, where you can make whatever you want, but even if you don't want to take a benefit, your dependents could tap into your record at full age. Even if you don't want to take it. So if George didn't want to take his benefit at 66, right? He doesn't want to take it because he wants to what? Boost it, right? He wants to increase it. But by that time, Maddie may only be not quite 17, right? She's still 16. She'll still be in high school, okay? She'll still be in high school. She could reach into his record and she could draw up to half of his benefit until she graduates from high school. It's called a dependent child benefit, right, that she could do. So that, and again, it would be at full age. If he started drawing a benefit, we would capture it then, if he started drawing it early. But he didn't want to take it early, he wanted to take it at full age.
So he's 66,
Uh-huh.
his daughter's 16, he's gonna get 2,000, she's gonna get 1,000?
That's right,
Even though
Donna.
he hasn't withdrawn his,
Do you hear what we're saying? That's, and it's called, you know what it's called, Donna? It's called a suspension. It's called a suspension where George can suspend. It means he's kind of like activating his record, and it allows a spouse or a child to draw, right, to draw from there, and he can boost. He doesn't have to take it.
When could a spouse draw?
The spouse, okay, that's a good point, Tony. The spouse usually could draw the earliest. Think back to our number line. Living spouse, the earliest is 62, would be 62. Now, George's spouse, though, she's not 62, okay? She's not there yet. But she's got Maddie, okay? She's got Maddie, the little one, right? Now,
she's gonna get a check.
maybe, but she's working full time. Okay, which since she's working, okay, think about work, right? Because she's working, no money. But if she lost her job, if the child is under 16, okay, they have to be little. If the child was under 16 or disabled, then we would talk to her, okay? Another example, Donna, I'm just thinking of like examples of this one. Okay, so I have a nephew, Ryan, who was born with severe developmental disabilities, okay? So Ryan's been getting disability benefits, you know, but drawing on his own I mean, he hasn't really worked. He gets need-based benefits from Social Security. My brother-in-law and his ex-wife, they're both been working, okay? They're both working and such. Well, he got a letter. My brother-in-law, John, gets a letter. And he called me the other day, and he's like, I'm freaking out. I just got a letter from Social Security, and they want me to help Ryan file for retirement benefits off Dorothy, Ryan's mom, his ex-wife, you know? And he's like, do I have to do this? And I was like, yeah, you're going to want to do this. And he's like, well, what could Ryan get from Dorothy? That's her retirement. But you guys know now, what could he get? Up to
Half.
up to half of her benefit. And he's like, but Ryan's 32. The difference is that Ryan's disabled, all right? And he's been disabled since prior to 22. You have to be disabled young. I mean, your 40-year-old who has if my 40-year-old has a car accident and becomes disabled, we at Social Security expect that 40-year-old to have their own work history. Okay. But one who, my son with autism spectrum, who's been disabled since young, may always be my dependent. Okay, so again, this is Theresa's advice here. You know a family in that situation, okay? Full age for sure, we want to talk to them. But my recommendation is at 62. Talk to us at 62 so we can just see what new dependents might get off that benefit.
Teresa?
Yeah.
Well, it gets worse.
Yeah.
So-
I can tell you some examples.
So I'm 75.
Uh-huh.
My wife is 61. When she turns 62, could she draw half my?
Well, it depends, okay? And Tony's asking about spousal benefits. So normally, what is the most you could draw off of a spouse? Okay, remember we just mentioned about children. A dependent spouse would be the same. If you're both living, the most you could draw is half. Okay, half. So let's say here I am like at 70 or whatever, and my wife's coming up, or my husband. I get 2,000, right? So what can my spouse get? 1,000. But my spouse's own Social Security is 1,300. Okay, 1,300. So 1,300 for her, 1,000 off me. What's she going to get?
1,300.
That's right. You don't get two amounts. You're going to get whichever one is larger.
Oh, she has to take hers.
She's going to have to take hers there. You guys listen to me on that?
She
Only
could-
if it's larger, if
If it's
spouse.
larger, that's right.
Right.
Now let's say in that same example, like Amy's saying, let's say in that same example, Amy, 1,000 is from Tony, okay? On my own record, 700. What am I going to draw? I go draw the 1,000 from you. Now on the retirement end, you'll see up in my second bullet, I put a little thing about spouse benefits, okay? Because with a living spouse, the only time you can do a switcheroo, all right? Well, I'm going to give you an example of something. It's not on here, but I'm going to bring it up right now. There are times that you could do a switcheroo. This is on a living spouse, okay? Meaning I could start on one record and jump to the other. This is kind of hard to do on a living spouse, but it's possible. Here's the deal. Think back to the number line, all right? Think back to the number line. If I am any point before my full age, okay, my full age is 66 here, right? right? If I'm at any point before that full age, like 62, I always activate my own record first. That's just our rules. Our rules say you want an early benefit, fine. You're going to activate your record, okay? You're going to activate your record, and you could see if you could draw from your spouse, okay? But remember, it would only be if that spouse's amount was bigger. Because I remember talking to a woman who said, I got it all planned out. She had an ex. All right, she goes, I'm going to draw my ex. Remember how long do you have to be married, by the way, to draw? You guys think you're so good. All right. She'd been married like 20-some years. And, she's single and all this. She's like, I got it all figured out. Okay. I'm going to draw on my ex when I'm 62. And then when I'm full age, I'm going to jump over to my own. And I said, I like that thinking, but no. All right, but no. And she was like, are you kidding me? And I said, why? What would you guys can explain kind of, right? Why? Because what would she activate first at 62? Her own, right? And I said, you're only going to jump off on him if it's more. So, and you can't, we don't let you do that switcheroo. It's got to be one or the other, basically. Okay? That's how that's going to roll.
How many people in the country are drawing the correct benefits?
The correct benefit, well, what do you mean by that one? By
All these different plans you got, how many people know which way to go?
Well, I think like I said, with some of these things, it can seem like, I just mentioned maybe like a spouse and your own. For a lot of folks, it's pretty cut and dry. It's going to be what age you want to draw on, if you're able to wait or if you're not able to wait. And we at Social Security, if there's any type of possibility that you have spouse benefit, that's why we're asking you spouse information. It's all part of your retirement claim.
Are you aware that your officers are not all performing at the same level?
Well, we certainly are tracking quality things, that's for sure, yes. So that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm here, to make sure you've got my name and number to help you if you're having issues. I remember a woman saying to me the other day, she said, I'm so mad that I got 2 different answers from 2 different people. And I said, well, that's what I'm here for, to help you troubleshoot that. I said, I wish that didn't happen in a large organization. I've dealt with my dad's retiree stuff from AT&T. I kept every kind of note, every kind of everything, and I got 5 answers from 5 people too. I mean, it's just, I'm not saying it's right. I will not tolerate that. And I will talk to managers. We talk a lot.
Tony should adopt a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that certainly has its own issues, though. We're not gonna,
Other than the money.
You just made me think, I just had a client yesterday, and he's 73,
Yeah.
and he's got a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old. Do you actually send him a letter letting him know these?
When we send letters, we don't send you personalized invitations in the mail about your
So
benefits.
he would need to know this.
Well, that's why we have all kinds of stuff online, and we try to reach out to folks to go online. But it's not just online. I mean, guys, we don't have the ability. We are not the born identity on TV. We do not know all. I wish I could say, but we don't have that kind of ability, which is comforting in a way. We don't know all about you. But at the same way, I had a state teacher the other day, retired from state teachers, which I'm going to talk about that here in one second. But she said, she's 70, okay, and she said, I had no idea that my state teachers would affect what I could get on my husband. And I feel really bad about that, yet at the same time, this is your pension. There is all kinds of stuff all over the state teachers' website, all over our website. The state teachers do outreach, they do education. I speak to 150 retired teachers every year, right here in Dayton. And I'm not trying to say that my heart doesn't break. I can't keep on top of everything in every aspect of my mom's life either. But I'm saying that's why you're all here too. You know the value of supporting each other and educating each other in the community. And we all have that responsibility for ourselves. So what I'm just trying to say, like, is with that, I said to her, she said, well, I've never seen anything about that. I
We
said,
don't
well,
want babysitters.
The key is every senior has to learn how to use a computer and use the internet.
but I
'Cause
also,
all the
but Tony,
information's
that's
on
great,
it.
but I also want these folks to realize, though, I'm not talking about your folks here. I'm talking folks out in the community that are not computer literate and savvy. I'm like, that's what we're here for, though. Walk in, talk to us, okay? And I'm not, again, I'm not promising everything's fabulous, but we keep track of our visitors. I can track who you've talked to, those types of things. So, real quick about state teachers, I'm not gonna go
State
into.
teachers does not get Social Security, is that correct?
Right, well, here's the thing.
You have to make your own credits.
You gotta make
try to
your
get 40
own
credits.
credits. And I've got like a little bullet point here about work. Because if you pay into Social Security, okay, which like 97% of employment pays in, okay, military, Congress now. Remember all those emails that used to go around saying
Police
Congress
and
paid?
fire.
Right, that, everybody pays into Social Security. The feds changed in '84. All right, before that, federal civilians paid into civil service. Some of you've heard of that, right? So we still have federal civil service people that are alive. But if you were hired for feds after '84, you were elected to Congress, or you were the president since '84, you paid into Social Security, okay? But in Ohio, we have the largest percentage, just chunk-wise, okay, of people that are in a public pension of any state, which I find fascinating.
Yeah.
Because we have state teachers,
Police
we
and
have
fire.
PERS, police, fire. My brother's a cop, he's in police, fire. I got a family with teachers. PERS is public employees, and then SIRS. SIRS is also like not just, you think like bus drivers and auxiliaries, but some of my husband works over Clark State, they're under actually SIRS. So some community colleges are as well. So they're paying into those public pensions, right, over here. They're not paying FICA. Now, in order to get your Social Security benefit, you have to have a minimum amount of work. That makes sense, right? Okay. So everybody has to have at least 40 credits, right? That's right. And that's like 10 years of work. Okay, so my brother, this detective in Columbus, he said to me the other day, I'll never get any Social Security. And I was like, are you sure? And I said, he worked at JCPenney for all these years, and he did all these odd jobs and, paid in. And a lot of it was before he joined the Columbus department where he paid in on his own, you know what I mean, self-employed. And I said, you go on and get your estimate. And if the estimate gives you an amount, it'll say you have enough for retirement. So he called me back up and he was like, dang, I do, yay. No, I said, now before you get too excited,
Can you get a little time
yes,
to
that's
have
all it knows.
They take
Your
how much-
estimate.
What percent do they take? 75?
No, it depends. See, the more work you have, the higher the benefit. And some people get out of it totally. Like my kid's bus driver, she worked 35 years for GM, okay, and then went back into a second career teaching. She had so much work. She can work 25 more years doing buses, and I'm just saying it'll never take away that Social Security. Right, but for somebody like my brother, who the vast majority of his career is going to be a police fire, he's going to get something. But I said to him, if it says, Teresa's rule is, the worst case scenario is generally give yourself half. So if his was saying like 400, you guys get it, he'd get like 200, whatever. So I mean, we could talk a whole time just about that. But the important thing for you guys that have loved ones, because I guarantee some of you in here have loved ones in those systems, tell them to get online, look at that estimate, but then I do the two-step, which is there's something called a windfall calculator online, and it'll really crunch it. Or tell them the Theresa method, half, worst case scenario.
One quick question.
Yeah.
If I'm getting 2,000 and my husband's getting 250 because he's police and fire, if I die, does he get any of my 2,000?
The spouse issue, and we're gonna look at that one. Hang on to that one for 1 second. Okay. Let's look first at spouse widow benefits, okay? Because that's kind of my last point here at the bottom, right? So if my spouse dies, do I get his or her Social Security? Well, that all depends. And this you cannot do online, my friends. Okay, so if you lose a parent, if you lose a spouse, you're not gonna be able to do this part online. We want you to contact us. Call that 800 number, come to an office, and we'll talk through options for you.